Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I don't know, in my own head I sound really weird at the moment and I don't know whether it's coming across, but for the last 8 days I have had like the cold or a flu or something horrible, and I haven't left the house in 8 days. I'm going absolutely crazy here. Today's the first day that I can actually, like, I've got my voice back, but if I sound really snotty, I'm sorry. Christmas gift ideas. Right, so I have got bags, candles, books and clothing ideas, and everything is under like £500. Actually, most of it's under 100. If you want to buy someone a bag, like I know a lot of the time, I think last year when I did this video I had a lot of you saying I really want to buy a bag for my mum or my girlfriend or my boyfriend or whoever, and trying to find a bag that is reasonably priced can be quite difficult, and that's leather and that's good quality and things like that. Because at Christmas, the thing I want to convey and the thing that I'm going to talk about in this is that every year it is so easy to get into debt because you feel like you have to overspend on people, and I think it's just that season of wanting to be really generous. But you don't have to spend a fortune to find someone something that is perfect and that they will love. And in my experience, very often, if you throw a whole load of money at something, it doesn't guarantee the person's gonna love it. Very often, it doesn't even matter about how much it is, you can find something great. So the first bag is this. This is by KARL LAGERFELD, and this is £235. It's full leather, it is a bucket bag. And as soon as I saw it, I actually really like this bag, and I've got another KARL LAGERFELD thing that I'm going to come on to like in a short while in this video. The KARL LAGERFELD brand in general is one that I really like, and if you haven't checked out the clothing as well, check that out because it's really reasonably priced, but it's all very classic KARL in terms of colours, cuts, designs, things like that. It's very classic actually, not just KARL, it's very classic. It's the kind of items that you can buy and then we'll keep going. The second bag is by Coach. Who remembers a few weeks ago I spoke about Coach in a video to do with top bags under £1,000 that I thought were worth getting, and I had so many of you that are huge Coach fans, and my mum is actually a really big Coach fan herself. I bought 2 bags in that video. One is actually for my mum, she already knows because she watched that video, but I bought 2 bags. One of them I actually exchanged, you know, I think it's the Cassie bag, so I got it in the canvas, and one of you sent me a picture of yours and you had it in the full black leather, and I was like, I actually prefer that, so I exchanged it for that. Guys, for anyone who's not familiar with Coach, I didn't know so much about it. The quality is so good. It's one of those brands that's been around since I think like 1940 or something, maybe even slightly earlier. It's in the 40s anyway, I'm sure. The final bag that I wanted to mention, and this is one that I've spoken about loads of times before and I've said in a previous video, but for anyone who didn't see that video, I want to reiterate it again. This bag brand, this is from SENREVE. This is slightly more expensive, so you can get different types of leather. This is the mimosa leather, and I actually want to really compare it to the matte, ultra matte Dior, because I was actually looking at these the other day because I had them both on the side of my bedroom, and I was like, they've kind of got a similar vibe going on with them both. So this is slightly more expensive. This was £775, which works out at around about £580. If you get it in the pebbled leather, which is a slightly different texture, it's a bit cheaper, it's about £520. If you are to compare these bags to Aspinall of London, which are another really good brand, the prices are around about the same. Maybe Aspinall's a bit more. I think Aspinall bags are like maybe 700 depending on the bag that you go with. At the moment as well, I think SENREVE are doing quite a lot of free gift with purchases if you go on the website and have a look there. The next thing I wanted to talk about is books. Now, if you were to ask me what do I want for Christmas, I already know. I want some pajamas, I want a silk eye mask that I'm going to come on to in a second, and I really would like an espresso coffee machine for my office so that I don't have to leave my office to go and get a coffee. That's all I want in my life for Christmas. But books, if you are buying for someone who's into their designer labels, and you would love to be able to buy them something that is from that brand, but maybe you've only got a small group of people you're buying for, or maybe you've, like me, my family is like, I've got about 20 people to buy for, and even if you do say £50 a person, wow, that adds up. And what can you get for £50? It can be really difficult. I think you've got to think quite creatively. Buying someone a book, if they're into brands, I think is a really lovely way of giving them something that not only can they read, but also they can have it in their room. You've seen with a lot of these books, I use them all the time as decorative displays because they look nice on your vanity table, on a coffee table in your sitting room. And there's also like the literature element. One of my favourite ones is this, and inside it contains 3 different books, all about the brand. And I loved, when I got this, I loved it because there's the reading element and there's kind of like learning, but also when it's in my sitting room or in this room, I really like how it looks. I'm also going to show you here a book which I was bought last year. It was an early Christmas present, and it's Tom Ford. This is the most fascinating book to read, and the imagery in it is incredible as well. It looks so classy. I really think when you have it just on a coffee table, it just looks really nice, and the cover of it's lovely as well. It's got like a fabric cover on it. So if you wanted to have a look at books, Amazon's a great place to have a look, even eBay, your local bookshop, but Farfetch have got books on there with that 10% off coupon. Also at the moment with the Net-a-Porter sale, there are some, but I think when I looked yesterday actually, there were books on there that were included in the 10% off. So I'll just put everything I can below, and then you can go and have a look, or go and have a look of your own accord, whichever you prefer. My thoughts when it comes to buying people things for Christmas is, particularly if you're working with a small budget, try not think too big. Sometimes when I'm buying for people, I'm like, oh my god, I've got to spend a fortune on you for you to love it. And the amount of times that I've found something that is just perfect for that person and it didn't cost a lot, and they've treasured it and valued it a lot more than if I'd spent more money on them. It's not always about the amount of money. 2 Christmases ago, a friend of mine made me this. Okay, so I really like Hello Kitty, and this is Miffy, you know Miffy the rabbit, and she knew that I was into that, and she made gifts for all of her friends. She did homemade candles, she went to Hobbycraft, and she bought materials, and she just made one thing for everyone. And I can't even tell you how delighted I was to have received this. And she didn't just give me this, she gave me a mug as well that she'd illustrated, again from Hobbycraft. She'd illustrated on it, and then you put it in the oven and you bake the ink onto it. And when we all got these presents from her, it was the most, what's the word? Touching thing, because she'd actually taken time out of her life to think about things that we all liked and to actually make us something. And that to all of us was more than just going into a shop and being like, oh, I'll buy that for you kind of thing. If you're like, I don't have time to make anything and I don't have any ideas, try charity shops. About a month ago, I was looking for something, I think it was for my dad's birthday or something, and I was really struggling to find anything. I find men are really hard to buy for, actually. And for any of the men watching, please let me know, like, what do guys like? Because beyond a screwdriver and a hammer and like a toolkit and a bottle of something or a pair of socks, I don't know, I find it really difficult to buy for men. So I'd gone past this charity shop, and in the window was full silver, this, so my dad like collects silver and stuff like that, like, and in the window was this like ornament made out of silver, and it came like in the original box. It was vintage, it was from like the 1950s, and it had all the hallmarks on it. And I went inside the shop and looked at it, and I was like, I just know he's going to be head over heels delighted with this. It's the kind of thing that is so unique to him, and the fact that it's vintage, I know he's going to love it even more. And it was actually quite fun. It was a fun purchasing experience because I feel like I'm, you know, you're supporting the charity, but also when I gifted him this item, he was just like, oh my god, where'd you get this? It's amazing. Now, the other thing that I found in there a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to you about Wedgwood, so I really like Wedgwood Jasperware, and when I was in there buying that for my dad, I found this. Now in Harrods, the Wedgwood tea sets are $4,000 to £7,000, and I'd always wanted like a jewellery just dish or something, and I found this in there and it was £5.50. So this is what I'm saying, have a rummage around. The other thing also that I wanted to mention, particularly if you're buying for someone who, for me personally, as soon as I hit about 28, I got a lot more into stuff for the house, or maybe even younger than that. I think really as soon as I moved out of home, that was when I got really into just wanting to make my house look nice and, you know, having stuff at my house. So if you know someone who's like that, or even if they don't know they're like it. So I bought this teacup set in Venice in the summer. These guys have got a website, everything is handmade in Venice. You can get these in lots of different colours. Hopefully, I'm doing this video early enough that if you order it, you should still be able to get it in time. The Chanel compact mirror, another brilliant gift. Mine was actually given to me by one of my best friends, I think about 5 years ago now. And it comes in, so when you buy it, I don't still have it because it's obviously like 5 years old, but when you buy it, it comes in a really nice white Chanel bag in the box, but also it comes in its own small dust bag. It is £30. If you're trying to buy for someone who's into designer brands, but you don't have a huge budget, then I think that's really nice. And also the wrapping is done for you, that's the other thing. And then the final things, this is what I'm asking this year for Christmas. Silk sleeping items, eye masks, hair bonnets and pillows. I've been sleeping in silk hair bonnets since 2016, and I get my silk stuff from one of two places. One hair bonnet that I've got is from Silk, spelt with an E on the end. But this, look at this, look at this. I saw this, and this is in the sale at the moment as well. There's a lot of stuff in the Net-a-Porter sale, the sale starts on Monday, so you've kind of got to get in there a bit really. But anyway, there's Silk things on there, including pillows. The items from Silk, spelt with an E, they all come really nicely packaged as well. So, and I think that just helps when you're giving someone something, if it's not just like, there you go. The other place you can buy from, if you want to buy silk items that cost a bit less, are Lily Silk. I have 2 pillowcases here, which are from them. They actually gave me these last year. They've not paid me to talk about this video. This video is not sponsored. I've included some items that I've been given in the past, but they haven't paid me to talk about it. They don't even know I'm talking about it. Lily Silk items also come in their own box. For anyone who's never slept on a silk pillow before, it does so much for your skin, so much good for your skin. I used to sleep on cotton pillows, and when you sleep on one of these, it's so, I really feel like you notice the difference the next morning. The amount of times I wake up and I'll have like a crease down my face where I've been sleeping, and with these it's a lot gentler on your skin, it's a lot softer on your skin. I feel that my skin looks less dry in the morning. And the benefit as well to sleeping in the silk hair bonnets, I find for me personally, it elongates the amount of time I can go between washing my hair. It stops my hair getting all stuck to my face cream at night, and it keeps the style. If I've had a blow dry and then I go to bed, I can just wrap my hair up in the silk hair turban, and it keeps the style a lot longer. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.